Welcome to Academic Language Made Easy. Today we're going to discuss teaching prefixes to English language learners. Why would we teach prefixes? Well, as every teacher knows, word parts are the building blocks of larger words that we often use in our academic content areas. Research shows that learning individual word parts and how they fit together to form multisyllabic words is a very efficient method of vocabulary acquisition for English language learners. English language learners who can break down larger words will be able to transfer those vocabulary decoding skills to all of their other content area classes. These are some examples of common prefixes. Anti means against, as in teachers are often anti-smoking. They are against smoking. In, which means not, as in, this lesson is incomplete. It is not completed. Inter, which means between, as in, the intermission is in between the two acts of the play. It is in the middle of the play. Pre, which means before, as in, we are going to pre-write to get our ideas flowing. We're going to do a little bit of writing before we start our new story. And finally, re, which means again, as in, I'm going to ask you to rewrite this portion of your essay. It's a little bit difficult to understand. I need you to write it again. Of course, those are only a couple of the several prefixes that exist in the English language. If you'd like a list of common prefixes, you can look on Scholastic, where they have an excellent list of prefixes that are common in the English language. It also includes some information about suffixes. Or you can simply look on Google. If you Google common prefixes, you will find a lot of examples of common prefixes. Now we're going to talk about some activities you can do with your students that are fun ways to learn prefixes. One activity that I really like is the prefix word card match. In this case, you would develop a list of words that are being studied in your content areas. On half of your cards, you would write down a prefix, and on the other half of your cards, you would write down a root word. From there, you would give your students a chance to walk around and find a logical match between a prefix and a root word. You'd have your students explain the meaning of the root word and how that root word is changed by the addition of a prefix. Or, in activity 2, you can do team prefix races. In this case, you would call a prefix out to your class, and working in teams, students would write as many words as they can think of using that prefix. Once you are done writing down words, each team would read the words that they came up with aloud, define the prefix, and get a point per correct word that uses a prefix. You can play several rounds of this, and whichever team has the most points wins. And finally, you can go on a prefix hunt. Over the course of a day or even a week, you can challenge students to look for prefixes in environmental print they see in school and at home. Have students report their finding back to you, and if you have a word wall, have them post that word with a prefix onto the word wall. As a class, you can discuss the meaning of the prefix in the root word and how that root word is changed by the addition of a prefix. Thank you very much for joining me for Academic Language Made Easy. If you have any more questions, please contact me, Lindsay Olson, and the email you see on the screen. Have a good day.